And the next question we are going to solve is the 10th one. Estimate the revenue growth rate of 4-wheelers and 2-wheelers EVs in India for 2022 versus 2024 and also 2023 versus 2024. Assuming an average unit price for 2-wheelers is 85,000 rupees and for 4-wheeler is 15 lakh rupees. Now we are going to estimate the revenue growth rate for both 2-wheelers and 4-wheelers in India. We will compare two periods. First 2022 versus 2024 and then 2023 versus 2024. To do this, we first need an average selling price for each category. If you look at our data set, we don't have the price for 2-wheelers and 4-wheelers. So that we are going to assume 85,000 rupees for 2-wheelers for per unit. Per unit means for one quantity. And for 4-wheelers, we are assuming 15 lakh rupees for per unit. And once we have the average price, the formula for revenue is very simple. The sales quantity multiplied by the average unit price. And we will calculate the revenue for each year and each vehicle type. Now I am going to show you how to create a calculated column in Power BI. I need a column that shows the average price for 2-wheelers and 4-wheelers. Go to table view and click this column and select the new column. And now we are going to create a calculated column. Name it as average price. And the formula is if a vehicle category equal to 2-wheelers, then give me 85,000 rupees. Otherwise, I am going to write another if statement. If the vehicle category equal to 4-wheelers, you need to follow the same format that in this column, otherwise you will get wrong value. W is capital and remaining is small letter. Then give me 15 lakh rupees and close the bracket and click enter. And now we have created the calculated column in Power BI. It gives us the average price for both vehicle category. And make sure you are entering the 0 correctly, otherwise you may end up with wrong result. And now what I am going to do is I am going to multiply this average price column with the electric vehicle sold column in the makers table. And this is actually the quantity column, right? It shows us how much EVs were sold by each makers. So I am going to now multiply this electric vehicle sold column with the average price column. But here is the important thing that you need to know. If the electric vehicle sold is 4-wheeler, then we should multiply it with the 15 lakh rupees. Whether it is 2-wheeler, then we should multiply it with 85,000 rupees. We can do this by the data modeling we have built. You can see that we have counted this two table by the help of the vehicle category column, and that column have two values. One is 2-wheeler and another one is 4-wheeler. And each row in that table have counted by these two values. So if the row is counted by the 2-wheelers, then we should multiply it with the 85,000 rupees. And if the row is counted by the 4-wheelers, then we should multiply it with the 15 lakh rupees. And I will show you how to do that. And now we are going to find out the revenue for 2022. I am going to create a new measure, called it revenue 2022. And we can't directly multiply both columns. First we need to sum up those columns. I am going to use a formula called sum, but not the normal one. This time SUMX. I will explain you what is SUMX in later. For now, just follow me. And the table is fact electric vehicle sales by maker. And now we are going to write our expression. We need to multiply the electric vehicle sold column from the makers table with the average price column from the dimension table. Here I am going to use a new function called related. And we need to multiply it with the average price column from the dimension table and close the bracket. First I will tell you what this related function is doing. It will check how these both tables are connected. In our dataset, these two tables have been connected by the vehicle category column, and that column have two values. One is four-wheeler and another is two-wheelers. And each row from these two tables have been connected by these two values. And this function helps us if rows in the two tables are connected by the two-wheelers, then it will multiply it with the 85,000 rupees. And if the rows are connected by the four-wheeler, then it will multiply it with 15 lakh rupees. I hope you got it. Alright, here is why we are using SUMX instead of a normal sum. Imagine we have a table with EV makers, and for each maker we know how many vehicles they sold. In another table we have the average price for each type of vehicle. Now to find out total revenue, we can't just add up sales and then multiply by the price, because every maker might sold a different number of vehicles and prices can be different too. What we need to do is go row by row in our sales table. For each row, calculate the quantity multiplied by the average price. Then after we have done that, for every row, add all those results together. That's exactly what SUMX does. It's like saying, first calculate for each row, then give me the total. If we used sum here, it could only add up a single column. It couldn't know it needs to multiply first before summing. So in simple terms, SUMX equal to do the math for each row, then total it up. I only need the value for fiscal year 2022. So I am going to use the calculate function. And I am going to filter the data for the fiscal year 2022. And close the bracket and click enter. Now we will create the revenue for 2023 and 2024. Just copy this formula and create a new measure and paste it, and only change the year to 2023 and here too, and click enter. And again create a new measure and paste the formula and just change the year to 2024. See, copy pasting is a powerful tool that will saves you lots of time. And click enter. And now we have created the revenue for 2022 to 2024. Now I am going to find out the revenue growth rate. I am going to create a new measure called it revenue growth rate from 2022 to 2024, and I am going to minus the revenue of 2024 by the revenue of 2022, and I am going to divide it. I am going to use a divide function, and I am going to divide this by the revenue of 2022 and close the bracket and click enter. We are dividing because we are trying to find how big the increase is compared to the starting point 2022 revenue. If you only look at the difference 2024 minus 2022, you know how much more money you made, but dividing by the starting year tells you the growth in percentage terms, which is easier to compare and understand. Now I am going to create another new measure, call it revenue growth rate for 2023 to 2024. I am going to minus the revenue of 2024 by 2023, and I am going to divide this by the value of 2023 and close the bracket and click enter. Click the clustered column chart and add the revenue growth rate and vehicle category in the x-axis. And now you can see that we have too many charts in our dashboard. Adding this can make a clutter. It will bring confusions. So what I am going to do is I am going to make this visual as a tooltip, as it will, when you move the mouse cursor over this visual, you can see this chart pop up. I will tell you how to make this in the upcoming videos.